Timothy Glaze was shot and killed by Chicago police on January 3rd of this year, almost 6 months ago to the day. Police body camera video shows he was holding a knife at the time. Dean was shot 20 times, according to a lawsuit filed this afternoon by an attorney for his estate, one that also says this is part of a long-standing pattern and practice of excessive force used by CPD. And we want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is graphic. These are the moments before Timothy Glaze's life ended. Chicago police exiting their vehicle after a well-being check call for Glaze. An acquaintance was concerned about his mental state and said he was playing with a knife. Police entering the Little Village apartment complex, traveling by elevator to the 6th floor and announcing themselves at Glaze's door.
Chicago police.
A second later, Glaze walks into frame, knife in hand. 2 seconds after that, as he walks toward police, they open fire, shooting 20 rounds. We've frozen the video before he was shot. Some bullets fired after he was already on the ground, without the knife and no longer a threat, according to Glaze family's attorney, Greg Coulis. The entire incident taking less than 2 minutes from when officers exited their vehicle.
The police don't say, drop the knife. They don't say, police, put your hands up.
Coulis says the body camera footage shows a lack of any attempt by police to de-escalate the situation and points to what he calls a broader problem with CPD of excessive use of force, referencing both Laquan McDonald and Dexter Reed, who were shot 16 and 13 times respectively by Chicago police and were killed.
I think it's become a practice and policy to obliterate the threat and obliterate the source of the threat.
Neither officer who opened fire has any previous misconduct allegations against them, and we are not naming those officers because they have not been charged with a crime.
You use that deadly force, but that doesn't mean you can continue to use that deadly force when the threat is gone.
The officer responded to his training, and that was, there's lethal force coming toward him. He responded with lethal force.
ABC 7 police affairs consultant Bill Kushner says given the circumstances, the narrow hallway, no cover for officers as Glaze advanced, they were left with no choice but to shoot. He says the common use of semi-automatic weapons by police leads to multiple rapid-fire shots.
The officers did attempt to render aid. They did call for an ambulance. They applied tourniquets.
You feel for the families, you feel for police officers. But the city of Chicago has an obligation to make sure the officers go out there with the proper tools and the proper training.
Now, both Kushner and Coulis say body-worn cameras are essential for police and especially for public trust. Copa says this is an ongoing investigation and Chicago police gave no comment. But Karen and Rob, there is a protest scheduled for tomorrow to mark 6 months since his death. And attorneys obviously concerned with the use of force and the training that Chicago police officers are getting.